Hi, this is Radhika Thawad and welcome to Nation Next Election Special. Today we are going to ask the generation next of our nation as to who would make it to the Prime Minister's office on May 23rd. Will Prime Minister Narendra Modi be able to retain his position, or will Rahul Gandhi be able to replace Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister? Right now I am with Shyam Bokade, who's an educationist, and Tushar Barjate, who's also an educationist. Tushar, tell me one thing, that you are a postgraduate in sales and marketing, in finance and marketing from Spain. एंड आपका ये कहना है कि मोदी गवर्नमेंट में बहुत ज़्यादा ट्रांसपेरेंसी है. राफेल के मुद्दे के बारे में आप क्या कहना चाहोगे?
टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, आई पर्सनली थिंक दैट it's more of a political thing that's happening with the Rafale issue right now. However, I may not be the best person जो इस पे comment कर पाए ज़्यादा, because I have not really gone into the detail. But keeping India's security in mind and the kind of acquisitions that and the kind of budget allocation that the government is doing every year to the defense systems, I think that's something commendable. So we should, as a country, look forward to those things and those actions rather than pinpointing certain things which we may or may not have under our own purview, because we don't have the requisite knowledge. So that's the only comment I would like to make on that.
श्याम, मुझे आप बताइए कि आप एक कोचिंग एकेडमी रन करते हैं एंड ऑफ कोर्स आपका स्टूडेंट्स के साथ काफ़ी ज़्यादा इंटरेक्शन होता है. तो हमने देखा है कि हाल ही में राहुल गांधी जी का भी काफ़ी स्टूडेंट्स के साथ इंटरेक्शन रहा है बहुत बड़े लेवल पे. तो क्या आपको लगता है कि कहीं ना कहीं उनके इंटरेक्शन का बहुत ज़्यादा फ़ायदा हुआ है?
या उनके इंटरेक्शन का फ़ायदा हुआ है. मेजरली सी व्हाट आइडियोलॉजी दैट पर्सन कैरीज अकॉर्डिंग टू मी इज़ वेरी वेलफेयरिक इन नेचर. And the same ideology is being supported by our Indian Constitution as a very living document which we have. So the same ideology is being supported by him, and same ideology is being carried out by our major and main document, that is Constitution of India. So अगर आप उस way में देखो, yesterday if you take the yesterday's his promise of UBI, which is also known as Universal Basic Income, where he is promising some 72,000 money per year into the account of that 20% people who are extremely into the below poverty line. Such kind of economic empowerment is generally necessary. You better take with the case study of Bolsa Familia. It is a scheme which has been implemented in Brazil, and it is a huge success there. Same way it can be in India. If you take the data from that Bolsa Familia, it is like the poverty had been reduced to the half. Reason, see, such implementation or such kind of economic empowerment should be conditional in nature, which I am expecting from Rahul Gandhi. In the conditions which I am expecting is like, okay, if you are getting some money, please invest in your children's future, kind of education, kind of health. So such kind of economic empowerment which he has done with his promise yesterday will be beneficial to our nation. No.
So how happy or unhappy are you with the current government, Modi government?
See, I wouldn't say that I am unhappy with the overall thing. Yes, discontent is there, because the thing is, see, why I am doing it, why I am saying it, because what the present government is carrying is crony capitalism, which I am in not favor of. Because, see, our nation doesn't support that. What our nation supports is a welfaric ideology. We have to uplift the poor. Okay, we are no more to the capitalist class. See, there is a nexus now. Political and the business class are joining the hands, which is totally harmful. What happens actually, what is the outcome of the crony capitalism is totally the over-exploitation of the poor at the end. And if you ask me, okay, if I'm keeping an allegation of crony capitalism, yes, I do have a solution also. The solution is the rolling back of state. The state means the government should not be in a position to do more liberalization, more privatization, which is not necessary right now. Government should keep all those welfaric things with themselves only. Got my point? So the rolling back of government is very much necessary, because why we choose the government? For our own welfare. That's the only thing. So unless and until the education and the health, these issues are being solved, we should not move to other things. I'm not saying that capitalism is bad, but crony capitalism is obviously bad.
So Tushar, what do you have to say about crony capitalism? Shyam के साथ आप agree करते हैं?
I have a very different point of view. I am someone who believes that you work hard and you earn for it. Historically, in this country, we've seen whenever such kind of money is distributed, which is not out of hard work, is usually not put in the right hands. Now that may be because of some kind of leadership or some kind of political intrusion. That's not something that I'm looking at. But I think chronic capitalism is a very extreme term to use, primarily on the base where these days if you ask any business house what is the kind of the nature of effect that has happened to you because of the policies that the government has put forward, it may not be the right term, because see, everyone in this country, from a businessman to the poor, has faced in terms of the policies that have come through. Not a particular thing, a particular person has been supported or a particular class has been supported. So like he made the first comment saying, I'm not very unhappy or dissatisfied with the government, but there are certain things like chronic capitalism. I think probably over a period of time these things will also smoothen out. It may look like a chronic capitalism right now, but probably at a later stage when things smoothen out more, when policies are even more active and instilled in the economy, I think someone like Shyam would be happy.
You support Gadkari over Modi. If you want, if given an option, you would prefer Gadkari as the Prime Minister. So why so? Are you unhappy with certain policies that Modi government has made?
I'm not a supporter of a particular leader or a particular party. I only pinpointed Mr. Gadkari as being an ideal person or an ideal leader is because of the way his actions have taken place. So with those kind of actions, I think the entire country moves forward faster, and business wise also that helps people. So if there are monetary policies or any kind of policies put by the government which are actually affecting the business class or the businesses of this country, are on a faster route to recovery, because there is a lot of development at the same time. So I think that all in all is a plus point, which is why my support goes to Mr. Gadkari.
Shyam, as a Congress supporter and a Congress loyalist, how would you assess Mr. Gadkari's performance?
Ma'am, see, to assess the Gadkari's performance, right now they have, what they can show is only about the infrastructure. I would like to give you a very lame example. The explanation very basic I would like to tell you. See, take an example. A person is living in a very small house, and in coming 5 years or 6 years, he is having his own bungalow. He is having his own car. So would you like to consider that thing as a development? Obviously, we'll consider that thing as a development. But the thing is, like, if I want to make it more elaborate, like, he is having his own house now, he is having his own car now. In coming 5 years, all that what he is having is based on a loan. He has borrowed the money. We should not take that thing as a development. All this infrastructure which we are seeing right now is based on the borrowings, because the government is actually into the fiscal deficit, which we have to carry 3% of the GDP. So we are, widening that fiscal deficit more by this infrastructure. I am not against this infrastructure. Yes, we need it actually, but right now we don't need it. We need those kind of schemes which are welfare orientation. Poverty elevation is there. We have to invest in education. We have to invest into the health sector. Like, we're still into the developing nation. Okay, I would love to call my nation developed when in this country like India, the education or the health services will be free of cost. If not free, at a very minimum rate. What is happening in the government hospital? CT scan machines are not working. Okay, there are no blood supplies. So do we call that development? Okay, so these roads are of no use. If you take these roads, we are not confident enough to drive a vehicle. So these development are necessary. ये दिखावा है. ये तब ज़रूरत है जब बहुत पैसा है. आज पहले तो मैंने भूख मारी है, पहले उसे मिटाना है, बाद में ये सब का तो ज़रूरत है ही. कौन बना कर रहा है? ठीक है. सो पता चल रहा है कि घर बाहर से बहुत सुंदर और किचन में खाना नहीं बन रहा है. All these constructions, increase the GDP. This is the concept of growth versus development. Okay, so ये जो चीज़ है, anything which is getting new constructed in the economy, it rises the GDP. Okay, तो ऐसा पता चलता है कि हमारी देश जो माँ है, हम जिसे माँ कहते हैं, हमारी माँ बहुत रईस है, लेकिन उसके बेटे आज भी भूखे और बीमार हैं. So that should not be there. So development is something new. I'll tell you, people will connect, especially students. एक ज़माने में हम लोग स्कूल में ड्राइंग बनाते थे. जिसमें एक पेपर पे हम पहले पहाड़ बनाते थे, नदी बनाते थे, घर बनाते थे, झाड़ होते थे, पंछी होते थे, सूरज होता था. अभी वो सब बदल गया है. गंगा काली हो गई है, वो फार्म रहे नहीं, इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया आ गए, घर नहीं रहे, बड़े हो गए, कॉन्क्रीट एरियाज फॉर एग्जांपल रोड, जिससे और पोल्यूशन हो रहा है. सो व्हाट वी डिड इज वी हार्म्ड आवर एनवायरनमेंट लाइक हेल. उससे बहुत सारा पैसा कमा लिया, आज वही पैसा हम उसको क्लीनिंग में लगा रहे हैं. सो दिस इज़ नॉट डेवलपमेंट.
Tushar, what do you have to say about Shyam's analogy?
So I don't know why, but I have a very different analogy to all of this because, so yes, like he said, the fiscal deficit is rising. There's no doubt about it. But you know, at one point in time, we will have to step out of that comfort zone if I go to see. And why do I say that? Is because if you do not do development and if you do not have that kind of an employment, see, India is a country which is really, populous, number 2 in the world, right? And I am looking at an average age of this country which is below 30. So there is a lot of productive population which is, there. A lot of skilled people that can come through. But skilled people will come through only when probably you will have those kind of opportunities. For those kind of opportunities to come through, you'll have to have a lot of areas where you can develop and give these opportunities. So when you're doing, say, for example, a metro station, there is a lot of more employment. Yes, there is a problem of poverty in this country. We need to eradicate that. But I think probably by distributing money and making them even worse in terms of being, okay, so I am, if your mom serves you food in your bed, you are happy taking it. But you never learn to go out and, cook yourself. Why do you not do that? Because your mom is always pampering you. So let us say that probably have more opportunities for them where they can go work, create more opportunities, give them more opportunities. Yes, we should stop. We should improve our payment cycles, our pay scales, because our expenditure is increasing. So our pay scales are also increasing. So the money cycle can improve that way. But stopping giving money, distributing to the poor, and stopping development by stopping infrastructure development on the name of rising fiscal deficit will prove to be more harmful because we are probably not expanding. That's what my analogy says.
Thank you so much, Tushar. Thank you so much, Shyam.
Subscribe to Nation Next YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get regular updates from Nation Next.